And this is our alarm clock right here. This one is crazy. And all the admin happens in this tent. All of it. The walk-ins, the parents when they bring their kids, some of the students that come, the addicts that come first time. This is where it all happens, and you're met by people who run your administration and give you your uniform and show you exactly which side of this institution to go to as a newcomer or as a parent, or maybe you're visiting, because there's visits. You're visiting, and this is where you come to, and they'll show you where to go. The second tent here in the distance is a clinic, because you know that especially when the students go through withdrawals, they need a lot of medical attention. We've got a small clinic here at the base, and this clinic has beds, drips, the basics, and it also caters for pensioners in the community, because such communities do not have, it's not easy for ambulances to get here on time because of the road infrastructure, etc. And if it rains, definitely ambulances are not coming through. So this clinic extends its services to the community, but only under emergency, serious emergency. Pregnant women, small children. We've got two schools, primary schools that are not too far from here, and this is the closest clinic here at the Military School of Rehab. And there in the distance, let me try to zoom this so that I don't have to walk that far. And there in the distance is actually the canteen tent, where when it's time for breakfast, lunch or supper, everybody gathers there and eats. And there in the distance, another tent there, this main one here is the clinic. And there in the distance is the male tent. And if you have a look there in the distance, in the center, here in the center is another tent, right? That's another section. So you've got a male and female section, and this is where your kids all come to for rehabilitation, military rehabilitation. This is no child's play. This land here that's been worked on, as you see, is where we've planted our food and where agriculture happens, a little bit of livestock too. And when the students are here for rehab, coming from all parts of South Africa, all 9 provinces, and even some countries in the continent that have applied in Africa, this is where the kids come to, and we literally grind them, grill them, and make sure we give them a second chance in this lifetime. We've got a long way to go. This looks amazing. I mean, it's a fantastic setup, but as far as we're concerned, we have a long way to go. If there's any donations in terms of wheelchairs for the clinic, for the community, please make contact. If there's anything you can assist with, please make contact. I will say it again, like I always say, we do not expect people's money, because that's not our model. Our model is to actually give South Africans and everybody else across the continent an opportunity to, give a lending hand and say, I've got an old tent, here we go, because not all students from across the country, South Africa or the continent, will afford this, but everybody deserves a second chance in this life, and it's up to all of us to come together and make sure that it happens. So it's just freshening up the tents, opening them up for the morning, for the 5:30 morning breeze to come through. And that's it, just to check on the medication, because the tents can get very hot. So medication, requires a certain temperature, and out here we don't have electricity. We don't have running water. We have the river. I'll take you to the river just now so that you see the river. Exciting times. Believe it or not, we drink water from the river. The river's clean. There's no community before this particular institution. The water comes straight from the mountains, because just on the other side is Lesotho. It comes straight from the mountains, and we consume it. Since the guys got here, the instructors are here preparing all the programs for the intake that happens now in Feb. They've been drinking the water. Nobody's sick, and people are actually healthier. They feel stronger, and we jog, we wake up very early, we work hard, and it works out. And as for preparing food is old school style. We use fire on the ground, and that's it. So if you know a female suffering from drugs, any type of addiction, you know a guy suffering from drugs, any type of addiction, let them send a short video to 076 191 7745 +27 76 7745. And in that video, they just explain who they are, where they're from, their address, contact detail of a cousin, of a family member, of a parent, of gogo, and explain what addiction they're suffering from, how long, and then we'll just make sure that the office contacts them and give them better direction as to how we move to get them here and get them helped. There's so much and so many people that we can take because of the resources, but thanks to all our friends, family, partners, corporate partners that have said, listen, here's a tent, listen, here's a generator, listen, here are a few beds. It goes a long way, because that means we can take in more students across South Africa and the African continent. We don't call them addicts, we call them students, because this is a military school of rehabilitation, giving young people a second chance to life. Right. Let me see. So here's where this is where the guys come, take turns to eat. Still preparing it. We've got, today is the 20th, it's Friday. Jeez. We've got a few more days before all the young people from all the provinces across the continent come in. So they take turns. This is one of the places where they eat. We serve their food here, and they go back to their drills, their exercises, and everything else that we do here at the Military School of Rehab. So these are all the potatoes that belong to us here. Nhlanhla Finance actually helped us with the seeds many months ago, and everything else that we needed to start putting this garden together before the school can actually take the shape that it has taken now. Let's check how far the potatoes are, because I mean, I could explain in theory, but I'd like people to see. Let's get one that that's so cool. See, so there's your baby potatoes. Clean one. So we'll leave them to actually develop properly. This was just an exercise for you to see the food that we grow for ourselves. And the students will be, when they're taught agriculture, this is where some of the areas that they come to, and they're taught how to grow their own food, which improves food security even in their homes where they come from. They'll go back with the skill, farming, livestock, agriculture, etc. And it's also worth mentioning that some of the things that we do here is we give the students the added skill, so when they go back to their communities, they now have new skills that they can use to contribute to their families, communities, and their local domestic economies. Some will be taught photography, some will be taught bricklaying. They'll now know how to build a wall and just renovate a house, etc., etc. And they can take that skill and move with it and become better members of society wherever they come from. So this beautiful river literally runs through the Military School of Rehab. I think if there's any bigger blessing, I haven't yet seen it. This is the biggest blessing that Nhlanhla Lux Foundation, Military School of Rehab has.
Yeah.